The premiere of Witcher Season 2 ends 2 long years of waiting to get back into the magical world of monster hunters, sorcerers, elves, and children of surprise. And the new episodes are full of Easter eggs as well as nods to the books, games, and anime that came before it. Here are the small details and Easter eggs you may have missed in The Witcher Season 2, as well as Season 3 theories. First, a dark twist on Beauty and the Beast. As a dark fantasy series, it's not surprising to see twists on fairy tales motives in The Witcher. The first episode of Season 2 adapts and borrows the title of one of the series' most popular short stories, A Grain of Truth, and features a dark love story reminiscent of the classic fairy tale Beauty and the Beast. However, the Beast in The Witcher is cursed after doing something much worse than being mean to an old woman at his castle door. A Grain of Truth shows Geralt and Ciri meeting with Nivellen, who has been cursed with boar-like tusk, fur, and claws after he sacked a temple and raped a priestess. The cure for this curse, Nivellen explains, has something to do with blood and love. Nivellen is hiding another secret from Geralt. His vampiric lover Verena lives in the abandoned castle with him and has been feasting on travelers who get too close. In the short story, Geralt first thinks Verena is a nymph called Rusalka. However, she's actually a dangerous Bruxa, a powerful creature that drinks blood and can turn into a giant bat. In The Witcher Season 2, Geralt fights Verena to protect Ciri, but it's Nivellen who kills the Bruxa to protect the Witcher and the priestess. This act of blood and love breaks Nivellen's curse, and he returns to his original human form. Lines borrowed from Something More. A key dynamic in Season 2 of The Witcher is the relationship between Geralt and Cirilla, often simply referred to as Ciri, who is the princess of Sintra. When men become Witchers, they're made infertile, and as such do not expect to raise children. However, in Ciri, Geralt finds not only his destiny, but a young girl whom he comes to consider his daughter. Geralt and Ciri's paths have been intertwined since before she was born, thanks to the law of surprise. This ancient custom is followed when one person does a favor for another, with the reward being something the other person doesn't yet know that they have. In Ciri's case, she is a child of surprise. In Season 1, viewers see Geralt save her father's life and invoke the law of surprise. Ciri's father, Duny, doesn't yet know that her mother, Pavetta, is pregnant, and as a result, the unborn Ciri became Geralt's by right. In Season 2's first episode, Ciri asks, "Am I your destiny?" And Geralt replies, "You're much more than that, Cirilla." The lines are lifted directly from Sword of Destiny, specifically the book's final story, which shows Ciri and Geralt's first meeting. That story, Something More, was adapted in the finale episode of Season 1 titled Much More. Nods to Nightmare of the Wolf. In Season 2 of The Witcher prominently includes Vesemir. It was bound to have nods to The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf, the Netflix anime that describes Vesemir's origins and the brutal attack on Kaer Morhen that only he survived. Though Witchers age slowly, Vesemir is considered the oldest among them. The anime shows how he becomes a mentor for not only Geralt but also for Lambert, Eskel, and Rumas, the 4 young boys who escaped the battle at the end of Nightmare of the Wolf. In The Witcher Season 2, we finally see Eskel and Lambert all grown up and in live action. Remus appears in Season 1 but is killed by a Striga before Geralt arrives to break the creature's curse. As part of Ciri's education, Vesemir explains a bit of the history behind Kaer Morhen and Witcher's abilities. He tells her about fighting and living through the attack on Kaer Morhen, in which humans and magic mutated monsters assault the stronghold in an attempt to eliminate the Witchers. We also see an up-close shot of the massive tree in the middle of Kaer Morhen's hall where the medallions of fallen Witchers hang. Outside Kaer Morhen's keep, bones of humans and monsters still litter the ground, including a massive skeleton with a beak. It isn't confirmed, but it looks like it could be from the mutated griffin that attacks Vesemir in Nightmare of the Wolf. Baba Yaga and the crones of The Witcher 3. In the episode 2 scenes that are not set at Kaer Morhen, we follow a beat-up and broken down Yennefer, who's captured by Nilfgaard forces after the Battle of Soden Hill. She reunites with former Ereztuska Yennefer classmate Frigilia, a sorceress on the side of Nilfgaard. She also meets Francesca Fundabear, an elven mage who is a leader among her people. The three mages enter some ancient ruins where they eventually find an illuminated straw house that begins to move on spindly legs. Inside, each of them meets a version of the Deathless Mother, a character created for the series who serves as a mysterious antagonist throughout Season 2. While this storyline is not part of Sapkowski's books, the house on stilt end legs and the traits of the Deathless Mother parallel elements from the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt video game. The house in particular is reminiscent of the legend of Baba Yaga, a mythological character who lives in a straw cabin that moves around on chicken legs. In The Witcher 3, the trios of witches, known as the Crones, are loosely based on the tales of Baba Yaga. The Deathless Mother is also a bit reminiscent of Baba Yaga, as she is shown shape-shifting into different people based on which mage she's interacting with. She's also similar to the Witcher 3 villain Gaunter O'Dim, in that she preys on people's deepest desires and makes dangerous pacts with the promise of fulfilling their wishes. Jaskier's new look. Besides Geralt, Jaskier the Bard is one of the most popular characters in the series. In Season 1, Geralt and Jaskier part ways after an explosive argument that sees Geralt blaming the Bard for all of his recent woes. However, Jaskier isn't doing so bad in Season 2, as he has developed a new look and sound that harken back to his portrayal in the books and games. When we first see Jaskier in Episode 4, he's belting out his newest ballad, an epic breakup song with the hook "Burn, Butcher, Burn." It's angsty, emotional, and hilariously recaps some of Season 1's adventures with the Witcher from Jaskier's perspective. May not be as catchy as Toss a Coin, but it brings some comedic relief to a mostly grim Season 2. In these scenes, Jaskier is also sporting longer hair, an unshaven face, and new attire that is much more in line with what he wore in the books and games, along with purple-hued leather coat. One brief scene shows him crooning while wearing a hat with an egret feather in it, bringing back one of his most memorable accessories. Season 3's theories. Now, there are some theories that can be collected from the book series, but TV shows and books can easily deviate from one another, so none of this is confirmed as being part of Season 3 or beyond. The Wild Hunt wants Ciri because of her blood, believing that if Ciri can provide an heir to their king, it'll grant them access to travel between worlds, a power they used to have but lost when they lost access to the Ardgate, which is a large-scale portal that allows for entire populations to move across the multiverse. By capturing Ciri, they believe it'll fulfill Etheline's prophecy, providing an heir that could open forbidden doors. Then there's Reince, a fire mage who teams up with Lydia in search of Ciri. He finally gets to meet the person paying Lydia for this search. The viewers don't see who it is, but in the books, it's Vilgefortz. The viewers will find out he's been working alongside the Emperor, helping him to get the throne in exchange for lands in the north once it's taken over. He believes that with Ciri's blood, he can claim her powers, and he definitely wants that. And there's the fate of Jaskier and Frangilla, because this storyline diverted a bit differently than it does in the books. It's been theorized that the Emperor will set them free in exchange for hunting down Ciri. After all, it's Jaskier who's one of the people who actually knows what Ciri looks like. Geralt and Ciri, of course, will be on the run, likely to find more info about the Wild Hunt and how to stop them. Ciri also has to finish her training with Yennefer, so Season 3 might focus heavily on this plot. And there you have it, everything you need to know about The Witcher Season 2 moments and Easter eggs that fans totally missed, as well as Season 3 theories. Which moment was your favorite? What do you expect to see in Season 3? Be sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.